Yep.
What would you do to prepare for a battle that might cost you your life? Would you run like a coward, or would you fight for your honor and your pride? Having done the haka in my past football experience and having many teammates that are Polynesian, I took a good interest into this topic while researching it. I'm going to talk about the true origins of the haka and traditions that have stemmed from the true origins of it. In order for you to understand what I'm talking about, I'm going to show you a video of the original haka so you can understand what I'm talking about in the duration of my speech. Alright, so you get the gist of it. These people are called the Maori people. They're the indigenous people that inhabited New Zealand. The haka actually originated as a love story, if you can believe that. It was about a man who had the choice to fight for who he loved or to be a coward and run away, and he chose to fight. And the legend of this man's bravery was spread throughout the whole island, and thus the creation of the haka. The haka actually has a lot of meaning, despite how it may seem or look, a bunch of scary looking dudes beating themselves. According to defensive line coach Ikaika Malloy, a native Hawaiian with extensive background in the haka, the Maoris first started this chant when intruders and attackers came to the island on ships. So pretty much when these people inhabited these islands, other people would come try to intrude their island, and they would get all the people and they would get all their weapons and they would go to the beach and do this haka as a war chant. And the facial expressions they were making in this were not actually because they were just crazy people ready to fight. They're actually very symbolic. The Maori people believed that you could see a man's soul through his eyes. So they opened their eyes as wide as possible to show them that they had nothing to hide and that they were fearless and that you could come after them and they would fight back to the death. The second symbolic facial gesture was the tongue. They stuck out their tongues kind of like a nana nana boo boo, like we did when we were little kids. It was meant as disrespect to antagonize them to come try to take our island. Now that warfare like that has pretty much became extinct, it is often overshadowed by the cultures that adopted the haka, the true meaning that is. It's adopted by many Polynesian cultures such as Samoans, Tongans, Hawaiians, and they created many, many different types of variations for the haka to do at all sorts of events. Polynesians do these at weddings, school honors, and pretty much any type of celebration they have a haka for. And according to an article titled The Haka Today, retrieved from hakawarriordance.com, there are so many different variations of the haka they cannot be counted or recorded anymore, all stemming from that one original from the Maori tribe. Some Polynesians actually consider it disrespectful to do the haka in this context because they believe that many people do it without knowing the true meaning, and it's disrespecting the Maori people who held it to the utmost seriousness. Aside from the true origins and traditions created by other cultures, the haka has also been made a tradition by many sports teams. Sports teams of all ages have done the haka. I did it in 7th grade and I did it my senior year. But it's most commonly seen in the sport of rugby. It's done by a lot of rugby teams, but the team that perhaps is the most famous for it is the New Zealand All Blacks. This isn't surprising, being that New Zealand is where the haka originated from. They carry on the tradition by doing the original haka before every game. They're also historically the best rugby team in the world. Many football teams also do it, but the rules are tightening up around it due to the intimidation and unsportsmanlike conduct nature of the haka. The University of Hawaii did it before every game before being penalized in 2007 for unsportsmanlike conduct. University of Hawaii head coach June Jones was quoted in a local Honolulu paper saying, "I checked the guidelines. We didn't do it on the field. We did it 75 yards away. It's not unsportsmanlike. It's a cultural, spiritual tradition." The offensive line coach who did the haka with the team was also quoted saying, "It was never an intimidation thing. It's a cultural tradition for our fans and players." Nonetheless, they still got penalized. All that being said, it's obvious to see that the haka has adopted many new meanings over time. It's drastically changed over the years, but there is only one origin that many traditions stemmed off of. It started as one thing and it changed to cater to different cultures. To each his own.